Welcome to the new Veymax tutorial. Today we will teach you for best tips for basic electric skateboarding. Stance, acceleration, braking and turning.
Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So today we're gonna get started with the very basics of your e-skate journey. So if you're a very skilled rider, this video may not be for you. Couple things worth mentioning before we get started. Helmet. Always wear a helmet first. You want to wear extra pads like elbow pads, knee pads, wrist guards. I think that's a very good idea. Now, you just got your brand new e-board. You've never been on a longboard before. You're sure as heck never been on an e-board before. So let's get started with the very basics. Make sure your remote and your board is fully charged. You don't want the remote or the board dying on you while we're actually riding. Another thing worth mentioning. Always use the lanyard on the actual remote. If you drop the remote, you could possibly break it and you might not even know it's broken and it'll disconnect on you. It's happened before with many manufacturers. People drop their remotes and later on it disconnects and they fall off their board. So lanyard, charge your board, charge your remote, helmet. Now let's get started. Now first things first, we need to learn which stance you are most comfortable with. Goofy is your right foot forward. Regular riding stance is your left foot forward. Now if you don't know which stance you are, stand up straight, have a friend come behind you and push you. If I put my right foot out, that means I'm goofy footed. That means I'm gonna stand with my right foot forward. If your friend pushes you and you put your left foot out, then that means you're a regular stance. If you don't have a friend to push you, go up against the wall, don't think about it too much and just fall forward. So whichever foot comes forward, that will determine what kind of stance you are. Okay, let's get started with acceleration. Now, I want you to start in the lowest mode. Some boards are gear 1, low mode. Whatever your lowest gear is on your board, I want you to go in the lowest mode on the remote. Now, my stance, I'm goofy footed. So this is the way I stand. Again, if you're a regular stance, you're like this. Before we start accelerating on the actual remote, I want you to plant your back foot a little bit more further back and you're gonna put a little bit more weight on your upper thigh and your butt. So it's kind of as if I'm trying to sit down on something, but not too much. Just put it out a little bit and a little bit more weight over here. So again, I'm gonna put a little bit more weight in the back here. I'm gonna slowly start gradually going. I'm gonna get the feel for how the actual acceleration behaves with the board underneath my feet. So again, we're only in mode 1, aka low mode. So get used to the feel, and little by little you can push the actual throttle a little bit more, and then you're gonna realize you are maxed out. You're at full throttle, which is a good thing. Now you're used to the mode 1. Now gradually do that with every single speed mode. Also, when you start getting up to speed, definitely keep your knees bent, because when you run over imperfections, you kind of want your knees working as some type of shock absorption. Now we're gonna talk about braking. Now remember how I said put a little bit more weight on your back, higher thigh and your butt? I want to do the same thing when I'm going to brake suddenly. So I'm going to yank on the brake, go backwards. I'm going to put a little bit more weight back here. That will kind of neutralize the way the board is going to shift all the weight back because you're romping on the brakes. So again, we're going to gradually start accelerating. I'm going to get used to it. I'm going to have my butt a little bit pushed back like I'm about to sit on a chair. And I'm going to put a little bit more weight back here. I'm going to hit the brakes. Okay, as you can see, I'm putting more weight back here to neutralize the momentum that's getting pushed. So with each mode, gradually go up to every speed mode and gradually start throttling and get a feel for it. Again, when it comes to the brakes, I want you to put a little bit more weight on your back leg and kind of lean a little bit more back when it comes to braking. Now lastly, let's talk about turning. I think turning is very, very important because you have to know the full behavioral traits underneath your feet when you're turning and carving. Now, I think having looser trucks as a beginner is a good thing. Do not, I repeat, do not worry about top speed. We are not going fast. You are not there yet. So I want you to loosen up your trucks a little bit. Make sure there's some good play in there for some good turning. So again, let's start off slowly. When I accelerate, I want to put a little bit more of my weight back here to get the momentum feeling, okay? Depending on if you're goofy footed or if you're regular, since I'm goofy footed, I'm gonna go take this turn. I'm gonna put more weight on the side of this board. At the edge of the board right here, I'm gonna put more weight down. And that's how I make a gradual turn. Now, same thing for going this way, but I'm gonna put more weight on my heels. So if I wanna put my weight on my heels at the edge of this board, I'm gonna make this turn. I'm gonna put more weight on this actual edge of this board. So keep on doing these exercises. Keep on doing these turns, get a feel for the edge of the board and feel how the actual board behaves underneath your feet when you are turning. So then gradually start doing half figure eights. So if I lean on my heel, that's called heel side turn. If I lean on my toes, that's called toe side. So keep on practicing those turns and you will be carving and turning in no time. So to sum things up, always have your legs bent during an acceleration, braking, and during riding itself. If you stand up straight like a pencil, all the vibrations or the acceleration or even hard braking will just throw you off the board. When you're accelerating and braking, I want you to put a little bit more weight back here. So when you accelerate, gradually accelerate, and when you brake, I want you to put a little bit more weight back here. Throughout time, when you practice this little by little, you can gradually go in higher speed modes and get a feel for the board's power gradually. Same thing with braking. Don't brake all of a sudden. And if you have to, definitely put more weight back here. And with the turning, keep on doing those heel toe exercises when you're doing those half figure eight carves. And in no time, you'll be enjoying your e-skate journey. Thanks for watching, guys.
Thank you for watching. If you think our video is good, please share it, like it, and follow us. See you next time.